Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Crafternoon. Hi guys, thank you so much for being here. Today we're starting an afternoon version, kind of like a version of our creative mornings, but we're just doing it a little later. That's it, right? That's all. And plus, I'm really excited because in July, there we go, let's turn that down. In July, with Crafternoon, I am excited to incorporate a little bit of craft stuff. So this kind of opens the door so that I don't have to just do drawings. It is going to leave it a little bit more open-ended. So if you are new here, my name is Erica. I'm an artist and educator, and I just like to do this like summer live streams where we just get together and draw, or sketch, or I don't know, anything, right? So I am gonna be finishing a drawing that we started yesterday. So let's go ahead and pop on over there. And the goal is just to kind of finish this up this week, and next week I have a few more things planned for what we'll be doing. So I hope you guys will join me in doing a little bit of drawing in your sketchbook. If you're feeling like that's something you want to do, you don't have to, of course. I welcome you to come and just hang out, co-work, lurk, chat. Yesterday we had a really fun session where I drew this one and had a lot of trouble with it. So it was really fun to kind of figure out how to work that out on the fly. This is where I left off yesterday. And so I'm going to finish off right here. So if you are not following me on Patreon, I will say that all the images that I'm drawing from are on Patreon, and they are free, available to you, everybody, to just see in case you want to zoom in and look at them a little bit more closely. By all means, go check out my Patreon. There's a link in the description, and that will help you to be able to see the images that we're drawing from. Now, if you don't feel like doing that, they will be up here on the screen. You can see them right there. This is the one we drew from yesterday. And I'll kind of just move between them as I go, depending on which one I'm working on. So I'm going to stop right here on this one, and I'm going to just move on to this next side. Now, yesterday I chose a color palette that I'm going to stick with again today. And after we left our stream, I did swatch them out so you can see which colors I'm working on. Feel free to find something that works similar to that, or find your own colors that you feel like you work really well for you. In July, I just posted our new plans for July, and in July I do plan to focus a lot on green, which I did a lot of green in the past few sketchbook spreads that we did this month. We did three spreads in June. This one, the camp theme, and then I did this one on my own on the weekend. And so I will probably be moving over to green for our next week. But I'm going to finish off with where I started. I am using the Ohuhu Nahuku markers, and of course use whatever you like. I feel like I'm into these markers right now, but I really like water-based markers as well. And I'll just work with a color pencil if that's all I have. I feel like, do what you like, right? So I'm going to go ahead and pick up right where we left off. And I think that the one that I'm drawing is this one right here. I'm just going to move from left to right because I'm right-handed, and I try to not draw or not place my hand down on things when I'm drawing. So I'm going to, do what I can. I have my images up here on my iPad as well, so that way I can see them up close. So I recommend you have them available to you on the side if that's something that you think could work for you. And I'll just show you my process, and if you have any questions or you want to just chat, I would welcome you to chat. I will tell you right now, I hate a silhouette. I cannot for the life of me draw a silhouette. And this one's a little funky too, so I guess that's a good thing, because it means that you can be a little wonky with yours as well. But I naturally hate drawing silhouettes just because I feel like they're really hard to get to look, right. I feel like a silhouette is best done with like straight up tracing. Tracing will work the best. I feel like you'll have the best results, but I'm just gonna do my best. I'm not tracing, but I would like to be tracing. That would be like perfect scenario, right? Let's just trace it, So if you are able to trace this, I mean, good for you. I wish I could do that. I just don't have a means to trace this. I mean, I guess I could put my iPad underneath my sketchbook page, but I'm not gonna do all that. I'm just gonna doodle it, and whatever it looks like, if it looks like trash, it's all good. It is not that serious. If you know me, you know that my philosophy is very much about the practice. I enjoy the practice. It's good for my brain. It's good for my mental health. And I feel like having a sketchbook practice is something that's very valuable to me. So I try my best, if I can, to keep a pretty regular practice. And that just means making time in the day to draw a little bit, to get off my phone, to doodle, or record. I have a tendency to enjoy drawing from observation, so I lean a lot on pictures, but I do have a little plan this month as part of our Patreon rewards to do some drawing that is more memory based, and I'm kind of excited to do that just because I know that that's not my strength, and I think it's going to be something good for me to practice. So I love to try a lot of different things, and I feel like I'm pretty brave. I'm not afraid to make mistakes. It is all good for me. I'm not very product driven, but I mean, if I get a good product, I'm happy, but I don't need it to be good for me to appreciate the value of the process. Hi, Gina. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I know sometimes when we're drawing, like, it's hard to be chatting as well. So thank you for just, saying hi. I appreciate it. And I do think, like, the process of like kind of thinking out what we're doing can be also really good too. So sometimes I think it's really good to, make a lot of mistakes or make your mistakes, and then, thinking about how that happened or what could happen differently, especially if you want to, make that a learning experience. I think that's a good thing as well. I really love the little lettering on this, and I feel like copying lettering can be really hard. So I'm going to just try my best, but I think I'm going to go in with a little bit of a darker value here. I am going to try to do a lot of drawing in July. I'm officially done with my college class that I was taking, so I don't feel like I'm gonna have to, split my time too much. And if I can, really prioritize making in some way, I will. So there's a lot of things I'm going to be preparing for in July. One of the things I'm doing is a market, so I'm going to be doing a little bit more crafting, which I love. We talked yesterday about how much I like craft. So I'm really excited to play with my supplies. Hi, Kim. Thank you so much for being here. It is as chatty as you want it to be. Feel free to chime in. Yesterday we were really chatty, but there's times when we're a little more chatty and times when we're not. And all of them are good. If you just want to come and hang out and draw, I welcome you as well. Definitely feel free to take what you like from this process, leave what you don't feel like you need. I'm gonna see if I can make this feel a little bit like I wanted to go a little bit darker. The colors obviously look very similar. I'll show it to you. It looks kind of the same, but you can see it's slightly different. So I'm going to try to use this pink to kind of cut around the letters that I've already drawn, which is not the easiest route, but it is a process that I enjoy. I'm going to use my readers. It's getting a little bit small here for me, and the value is so similar, but I like the process of I always call it like I'm cutting in those letters, like I'm building the outside space, like the negative space, and building around, excuse me, something just got in there. And there's something about the look of that I really enjoy. And I already feel like this color is not going to be like the best choice, just because it's still pretty similar. There's not a lot of contrast. So I might need to do this again, but I do enjoy the process of, like, not just the process, but the product, or the way it looks at the end when I kind of cut into the shapes and build them through the negative space. I don't know. They look irregular. They look very imperfect. And that's something that I enjoy. I feel like I enjoy that more than I enjoy like it looking really precise. But there is a lot of really small stuff here. So I know I am going to need to just draw directly on top with a lighter value at some point. So I will do that. I don't think I need to do it yet. Might come later. We'll see. So today is July 1st, and I thought I could take this opportunity to tell you a little bit about what I have in store for Patreon for my patrons. These streams are usually just for my patrons, but I've kind of taken into, like, this summer, I leave them open and public, and then at the end of the month, they will become private just for patrons. So you can attend them live, but you might not be able to catch the replay, which is, I think, enough for some people. Some people just want to be like, just attend the live event, and then they're good without necessarily being patrons, and that's cool too. I mean, I feel like I just really think it's fun to just, the more the merrier in these live streams. So I love this idea that I just started. I think I started like maybe like in March or April, like just leaving all the streams like open and public, and then at the end they'll become patron only. So if you are not one of my patrons, I will tell you that I do talk a lot about things happening on Patreon, and so just a little heads up. But if you're like, what is she talking about? It's just the stuff we have in store, what we're doing this month. This month is my birthday month, so I just wanted to kind of indulge myself with all the things that I like to do. So I wanted to find a way to incorporate like a little bit more crafty stuff, because that's what I love. But, normally, like my whole Patreon was built on, I really want to bring white in, but I don't think I should. Hold on, let me see which one this is. This is 66. Whoa, I don't even have 66 here. Is this 66? Is that right? There's 3. I have this here, but I don't have it here. Okay. Maybe that's not supposed to be in there. So my Patreon is really kind of built on the idea of, sketchbook practice. So I don't always have a lot of opportunity to bring in other media, or like I do a lot of painting. I will say that if you're new here also. I do a lot of painting. I love gouache painting. So I really focused on markers in June, and I'm still kind of on my marker kick, but for a while there, like I just kept painting, and I had to kind of be like, you need to do different things too, not just the same thing. So I kind of tried to like broaden my practice so that I incorporated more other materials as well. Let's see if I can find something nice and light and bright. This is 610, 19 right there. They look like so similar. We'll put it on. We'll see what happens. I do feel like it could use a little something even darker. We'll see if we can make that feel. I want it to feel like it has a little bit of weight, I don't want it to look too flat, like a sticker. I want it to look more like a chunk of wood. But how do we do that? I don't know. We'll see. We're gonna try our best to figure it out. That's the same. That looks like the same color. I don't know. That's the same. So this month in July, I would like to do a lot more, media. So one of the things that we're going to do, which I'm very excited about, I was like ready to start it already. And I said, no, wait till you do it. But I do think we'll do a live stream that incorporates it, is the eraser stamps, which if you like lino cuts, you like printmaking, I think you'll know how to do that and you'll enjoy that. So we're going to do some eraser stamps as well. I'm super excited to do that. I really want to make some stamps that I can use because they're so small. I could use in my journal, which is one of my other very favorite things, is my my diary, my journal. So I want to do something with that, and I want to talk a little bit about like how I use it. And this is the first year that I was using a very specific journal that I got on the Hobonichi train, and I would like to do something. I want to show you what I've been doing with I'm notorious for having a hard time keeping a planner like consistently, and I've been semi-consistent this year. So I want to show you what has been working for me, what I enjoy, what I'm doing. I know some people just write. I like to use mine, like I call it a visual journal. I just like to draw in there. So that's kind of what I do. Thinking about bringing in white. I don't know. We don't have white in here yet, so I don't know if I should do it. Let me see. Do you post a supply list for the eraser prints? I will put it in the, it'll be in the PDF. So the eraser stamps is going to be like a PDF, like I call it homework because, I'm a teacher. So I always just kind of refer to it as like, this is our homework. And so it's something that you can kind of do on your own. And in that PDF, I'll put like some instructions and some pictures of what mine looks like and like the process. And then I'll put in materials. I try to make it kind of like a workbook, and it's something that you can use independently. So yeah, there will be materials list in there, and hopefully it'll be everything that you need. But then I think because we have so many live streams happening this month, I think we'll also do a live stream where we make them as well. Where I make them, and you can join me or watch the process. I'm wondering, have you done the block printing, Gina? I'm sure you have, right? Bunk. Try to make this look kind of like letters, but again, I don't want it to be like, I don't need it to be super perfect, I want it to be kind of like you're seeing it and it's not like fully clear. So you're kind of getting a sense of it, but maybe not the full picture. And like this lands like right on the crease, so it presents some extra challenging drawing situations here. Let me see if I can give it a little bit of heft. I want it to feel like it has a little bit of weight. Let's see, I don't know if I can do it. Let's try. Add some darker values here along the edge. Maybe put some of the lighter. Don't actually see it, but I'm gonna try this. We'll see if that helps. I don't think that helped really. Let's see. I thought maybe if I put a little bit of light on one side, it could feel. I'm really trying not to put a cast shadow or a drop shadow on here because I feel like if I do that, I have to put them on everything. And I didn't put one here, and I love a drop shadow, but I made a decision not to do it last time. And it's mostly because we've been talking about how we take these like little illustrations and then turn them into things. So the drop shadows sometimes present problems, and so I just figured I wouldn't put them in. Use the pink speedball blocks. Yes, I do too. I actually really like the one I use the most is one of the Blick Easy Cuts. It's a soft. I don't think it's called. I think it's either Easy Cut or Soft Cut. One of them is the one I really dislike, and the other one is the one that I love. And it's really soft and it's very easy to cut. So it's good for big chunky stuff, but it is gray. It's gray, and I feel like it's a little bit expensive, but okay. So yesterday I didn't include any white, and I kind of feel like I want white here, but I'm gonna wait. I might bring the white out because it's a little, like, I feel like it needs a little bit of brightness, but I'm gonna wait. So if I feel like I need it at the end, I'll bring it in. I'm gonna move on. Let's go forward. So next I wanted to draw from some of these. Now I kind of was thinking that I'll just like pick the stuff I like and make it into something new. So, you know, I don't know. I had another picture. It might be on yesterday or the previous days of the creative morning. And I think there were some like more like official looking ribbons. But I like these because they're just a little bit goofier. So I'm going to put the little gemstone from one, and then I'm not sure which one I'm going to pick for this. I think I drew the little orangey one, but pick the one you like. I also drew some yesterday just to practice, and you know, I mix and match. I put different elements together. Feel free to do that as well. Now, so far I have a lot of pink and I don't have a lot of orange yet. So I don't know. I'm feeling like maybe I shouldn't even do any orange, but I don't know. If I bring it in, I feel like I have to try to tie it into everything. Like this would be a good time to subtract it if I feel like it's not necessary. And I have to say, like, I think it's maybe not necessary right now. All right, let's just try our best. We'll see what happens here. So this is a little bit like fun because I feel like flat things can be really hard to draw for me. I feel like they can be very challenging because, especially when they're flat, but they're not like super flat. They're like a little bit, they have dimension, but they're not really like relief. So something like this, like a ribbon that is obviously flat, but not, you know, absolutely flat, presents problems for me. It's about like trying to figure out how to make that feel just a little bit like it has dimension, you know, it has a little bit of weight. Like I can see a little bit of light here, I can see a little bit of dark there, and especially if you're not including the drop shadow, more challenges, I think. So we're gonna see what happens here. We're gonna figure it out. We always do. And you know, if we don't figure it out, or it doesn't quite look like what we wanted, no big deal. It literally does not matter. So I just love the fact that we get to do something that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it doesn't work out today. This is a process of learning. It's a journey, so to speak. We just do what we can. Looking for some darks and just kind of, I'm going to mark them in. I did have a lot of trouble drawing this yesterday, which is interesting because I remember a very long time ago. I don't remember exactly what year, but on Patreon we did a whole like gemstones drawing session, and we painted gold stuff. We practiced painting metals, right? And that was watercolor, I want to say, that we did. And I was like, I know I can do this. I've done it before, but yeah, they looked funky yesterday. I'll show it to you again. Like, didn't quite pull it together. So we're gonna see what happens today. I'm gonna see how it gets, how we resolve it. Let's just see what happens. Will it get resolved? That would be the question. Okay, I'm gonna take this orange out because so far I haven't used it, so it might be a good opportunity to lighten the load a little bit. I don't know. Now I'm starting to think I need them for the flowers. I only have one orange, so let's not yet. Let's not. Because there's other colors here. So in place of other colors for me today, I'm just substituting value, right? If I have, I mean, obviously I do have different colors, but they're all in the same family. So I'm looking at like, okay, that's a light flower. So I want to have something relatively light, or one of my lighter colors. Hi, Emily. Good afternoon. How are you doing? Oh, no worries. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. Thank you for piping in whenever you get a chance. No worries. Oh, I'm going to put some red in here. I think this is a good opportunity to use this red. And I didn't choose like the regular, just plain Jane red. This one is like I only have 2 reds, just so you know. In the package that I have, I only have 2 reds. And this is the darker one. Which is, it's kind of crazy to me that there's only 2 reds. Like what? I feel like it's a little, like but there's like 1,000 greens, 1,000 greens. And I have 1,000 in the set of 72. My marker set is 72. And so there's a good amount of like everything. But definitely, I feel like there's not enough reds. I think I've mentioned that already. At least once. I know I had mentioned it. I did feel like that was a deficiency. You know. It is what it is, but I feel like, you know, many of us bought these at the same time. Thanks to Liz, Elizabeth, one of our patrons. She said that these had a buy one, get one free, and then we all scurried over and bought them. And so I got some free markers with it. So I feel like, you know, okay. Did I need markers? No, but I wanted the big ones. They have the free item was like these big chunky markers, which I really like that. I like it for like posters and stuff like that. Kim, you have that set and it's different. Yeah, right? Thank you, Kim. I'm glad you can. Yes, I needed someone else to validate that for me because I was like, am I just like crazy? Because how are there only 2 reds? You do like the darker red with the lighter. Yeah, I agree with you. It's so crazy. It's just like not the perfect like scenario. You also got the chubby ones. And what do you think about them? I really like them. I don't know. How do you feel about them? What are you going to use the chubby ones for is my question, because I like to do like signage, like big signs. And so I feel like it's perfect. Or I felt like maybe to draw on windows or something like that. It would be good for that. Have I done that? Not yet. But in my head, it sounded like a good idea. Okay, we're going to try some of this. Kind of build around here. It is a little like, you know, small. And so there's like a lot of little detail-y things. I like to work fast and furious. So yeah, this is a little meticulous for me. But I'm going to try my best. get in here? Use them for backgrounds. That's a really good way to use them. Yeah, I feel like, I think Liz said that as well, like that it served the purpose for like filling a big space if you need that. My sketchbook is very small right now, so I feel like it's not something I really need because it's just so small. But I mean, I did use it when I filled up some pages over here for my, like this one right here. I did use the chunky marker. So yeah, I used it too, I guess. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna put a little bit in here. Now we will work for about an hour every day, or I will. So, you know, we'll just do as much as we can in this time, and whatever doesn't get done, we save it for another day. It is no big deal. Now, I do feel like sometimes you kind of get into the zone and you want to keep working, and by all means, you are welcome to do that. But I will stop and I'll save the rest of it for the next live stream. So just a little heads up, when we end today, whatever I've got done is where I will leave it. And I will post pictures. Usually I'll post some pictures on Patreon so that you can see them up close, because I know this is a little far, and if you want to see how I work things out, I share that as well. And you can see that on the Patreon. So feel free. If you don't yet follow me, I would love you to follow me on Patreon. You can follow without being a paid subscriber. So don't worry about having to, you know, commit to a subscription if that's what is keeping you. You can just follow as a free patron, and that way you can still get access to the images, and you can see the calendar. I put the calendar up today of all the crafternoons that I have planned, what days I have scheduled them for. Tuesdays and Thursdays in July. So if that works for you, I hope that works for you. But of course, if things come up or things need to change, they will. I tend to be, I mean, I have a journal, I have a planner, and I still forget things all the time. So I think I always blame my ADHD. Like, that's why. Let's just blame that, because I feel like I'm sometimes have so many things in my mind that some things just kind of, they get left behind. Trying to be better about that, but yeah, today I had to reschedule. Like I had told you guys yesterday that we were gonna do our last creative mornings this week, but then I realized that I had that dentist appointment that I made like last year or something, and I knew, but I guess I just forgot. I don't know. And it was so funny because I got a little taste of my own medicine, because I went to my dentist appointment this morning and they had a sign on the door that said they were on summer break and that they wouldn't be back till July 6th. And I was like, they literally sent me 3 messages to remind me of my appointment, because I was going to be charged a cancellation fee if I didn't cancel with 24-hour notice. But somebody forgot to tell me that they were closing for summer break, which is fine. Like, go for it. Take a summer break. But also, like, why didn't you tell me? Like, you sent me 3 messages to remind me of this appointment, and then we're on break when I got there. I was just like, bruh. And I had rescheduled a lot of things. Like, I changed my yoga class, and then I changed our stream, and well, whatever. Such is life. It happens. I'm not going to worry too much about it. But I was just like, why were those, like, they obviously had me on automated messages reminding me about this appointment. And then I'm going to tell them, I need a cancellation fee because you all failed to give me 24-hour notice. That was so bizarre. I know, right? I just thought it was so weird. And I don't know. I mean, like, I usually have a summer dental appointment, and then I have one in the winter. And I've never seen them go on break. Like, I think this is their first year taking a vacation. which is cool. Go for it. Like, I support vacations. I really do think I'm going to bring in the white, you guys, because I did not leave a nice, like, empty space there for that white. I also feel like I need white for shiny things. So yeah, I was kind of, it was so funny because I was there early. I was there like at 9:35 or something. And I was like, okay, I was working on my iPad. So I was just in my car listening to my audiobook and on my iPad. And then I was like, okay, it's about 10 till. So then I get up to go. And there's just, I also sat there for like 20 minutes with like and I should have just checked. I don't know. It was just funny. It was interesting. Boy, this is like challenging. This like little plasticky flowers. I want to find, I wish I could find like, I would like to have a really like abbreviation method here for this, like a quick way to make it look kind of like a plastic rose button, but I don't have a system for that at this point in time. So we're just going to try to make it look somewhat what we see there. I don't know, that looks funky. Okay, so that one is a little bit lighter and this one's a little bit darker. So I'm just going to use the darker colors on this side and we'll try to. I always like to have a little bit of that white. That looks crazy. Do as I say, not as I do. And don't do that because it looks a little nuts. I like to leave a little bit of the white paper kind of showing through, so I don't ever really want to cover up everything. And that's just a personal preference. But like sometimes when I put too much, like maybe when I'm being hasty or I'm impatient, I will like maybe cover up too much and then I don't like the way that looks. So I have to kind of remind myself, okay, I see something here. I don't really remember which shade I used here. There you go. I have to remind myself like which color, but also I have to remind myself not to cover everything up because it's really easy to just like color the whole like flower in, but I don't like the way that looks when I do it. When other people do it, I'm sure it's fine. It's like mine, I'm like, nope. Let's put a little bit more of this red on this side. This was supposed to be kind of like a jump ring, but I think I just kind of clustered them together too close, and so now they look a little weird. It's okay. It's just a drawing. Nobody cares. It's all good. I really feel like maybe I'm putting too much time and energy into this little. Okay, got a little bit of shadows in there. Put another one here. Maybe just a little. Not too much. That one looks. And then I'm going to add some white. I think I took that out. Yeah. Just to give it a little bit of light. Not too much. Few little dots. Yesterday, one of my little nibs of one of my markers like fell out, and I'm having like a really hard time putting it back in. I don't know if you guys have had to replace your nibs yet. Like it just keeps falling out every time I use it. There, it's out again, and I'm not sure exactly how to. Like I just insert it and then hope it's in. I don't know if there's like a system or something you're supposed to do more specific in order to ensure that it stays there, but has anyone had to replace the nibs or anything on these? I'm specifically talking about the Nahuku because they're kind of like pointy and they're like brush tip, right? Okay, gonna put a little bit of light right there. Just trying to hit those spots that look like they have some brightness. Right here on the little. There. A little bit of brightness here. Yeah, I don't want to have to replace any of them, but I didn't even intend to replace it. It's just that it fell out. So now there is a really nice texture of that ribbon that's kind of running horizontal lines across. That would be very ambitious for me to draw that, but I don't think I'm feeling that ambitious. Not today. Sorry. So I'm going to leave it a little bit. I'll leave it like that. I do have a little bit of, oh, let's do a little bit of this right here. Kind of like a few lines there. Like a broken line, so it doesn't like totally outline, right? I do have a lot of little like sketchy lines around it. If you have that, like if you work like me and you don't do like a pencil sketch and then so you just have like all these like sketchy lines, by all means, you know, white over that if you want to. Go over with the white marker if you like. This is the next thing I drew. So let me find that ribbon. Which I tried it, I think, no, I did a different one. Right now, I will say, I don't love the proportions. For me, it feels a little short. So I might try to correct that. And I told you this yesterday, I hate that it's so close to the edge. So if I can pull that up a little, I will. So you can see I'm just going to start sketching again with a different color so that I can see it because it was looking a little crazy. And I'm going to try to move it up a little. So let's say that's going to be my new proportion. This is the interior. I feel like that proportion's a little bit better. Let's see. And then there's this little guy. I'll make these a little shorter because I think I went a little too big yesterday. This one is longer. I think that one should be even a little bit longer. Here. Maybe that one's a little too, that one could be like that. Okay, so this is the one with all the little lines on it. This is the one with the little horse on it. Man, horses are so hard to draw. That's gonna be fun. That's gonna be a fun one. I would like to make it look kind of horsey, but I already am like, uh-oh. I'm already worried. Okay, and then there's this guy here, which is about right there. Man, I love this ribbon. It's so pretty. I love the color of the ribbon. And I just love that it feels very like, you know, simple. There's another one on my reference images. It has like a milk cap or something in the center. Oh, I like that one too. Okay. I don't know. I still feel a little funny about the proportions, but I'm going to leave it here. It'll be fine. No one's going to see the picture. They're just going to see my final product. So such is life, right? All right. So I'm going to start with my lightest color, and that way I can, you know, build into all of the darks. Oh, I almost filled that whole thing in. Exactly what I said I wasn't going to do. And I almost did exactly that. Let me grab a clip real quick. Just want to keep everything nice and flat. And I do this also because I just like to see a little bit of the white peeking through as well. There's something about seeing that kind of like underpainting that is somehow very attractive to me. Here, I feel like this is gonna get a little bit darker. Wow, this is where I feel like, man, I think I could probably use the orange at this point. Now, I often will kind of treat these markers sort of like I'm painting. So if I see like darks somewhere, that's why I kind of break it up into smaller little chunks of different colors. So in case you're seeing me do that, because you know these are opaque, so you don't need to do that. You could just layer them on top of each other, but I don't know. For me, I like, again, I just kind of like to, I think it's probably just because I like come from painting, so I kind of treat this sort of like painting too. I don't know if you guys draw that like that too. Like, do you also just kind of break up those spaces as well, like into smaller little sections, or are you just filling the whole thing in? Because I don't know. I mean, not that it matters. It doesn't matter. However it gets you there is, I think, all that matters. I don't know. I don't love that there's not an in-between here. Let's see if this is, that'll do, right? That's kind of an in-between. We'll see. Maybe when we do all the rest of them, they'll start to look more like there's some sort of light on here. I want that to look like light, so. Do I have to do all of this? No, not really, but I like it. I like to do it. It's just something I enjoy. I mean, I do like painting quite a bit. One of my friends, Paige, she's an amazing painter, and she always says, like, she calls it like pushing paint. And there is something to that. It's like this idea that you just kind of like enjoy the way it feels, like the movement. I feel like that's part of it for sure. Always in sections. You too, Kim. Yes. I feel like that's just the way I approach it, but I'm sure there's a million ways. And sometimes when I watch like YouTube channels or what, YouTube drawing and stuff like that, like that's where I start to realize, like, oh, there's other ways to do things. Be surprised. Like, it's really easy to kind of get into your own like system and then not really, you know, wow, it's looking crazy. Don't worry, I'm gonna pull it together somehow. Maybe I need to go a little darker in here. There's lots of different ways to construct your image, you know. It's just one way, mine is one way, and of course, you know, everybody has lots of different methods, and you should use a way that feels good for you. I feel like you do have a tendency to kind of like build your own method over time and with practice. I'm always fascinated to see how other people, you know, use their materials. It's just so fun. Maybe I'll use the red also, like really dark stuff in there. Just the teensiest bit. Just where we really want to define those areas. Now, should I put the letters on there? Maybe. We'll see. I might put them in there. I like the font, and I do love drawing fonts, so maybe I'll do that. We'll see. This could be actually. Okay, I really have to kind of get these in order by value, because if I don't, I feel like I'm getting a little bit lost. Like, I'm like, which one do I need again for that one? So this is pretty dark, but I think this one's darker. Let me try it. Yeah. So this one's gonna go right there between the two. I just need to kind of keep them straight. Okay, we're getting close to the end, so it's darkest, and then I'm going to move up to the lightest. I feel like it's, let's see where this goes. Is this lighter? Yeah, I think so. Is it lighter than that one? I think so. I'm going to put that one in there. I think this is lighter. So lighter, I think this one's gonna go there, and then this one's probably the lightest. Wow, that looks crazy. Okay, I don't see the vision yet. I'm hoping I'll get there, but I'm gonna keep going. We're gonna hope for the best. The vision is not clear yet. Okay, so I'm gonna start again. I'm gonna start working my way up here, and I'm gonna do lighter values up on this first, because you can always add more. You can always put in your darkers, but I like to start light. I feel like I can build in. I know some people do tell me that they start, especially with painting, like they start darks and then they work into the lights, and I don't do that, but I'm again fascinated to learn. Okay, let's go a little darker from here. And then I just kind of like I'll look at that and I'll be like, oh, that's not dark enough. So then I can continue to add. I feel like that one shouldn't even bother. They look so similar, those two colors. That's the 19 and the 610. R19 and the 610. They're like practically the same. It's right here. Right here. I think I could probably go a little bit darker as well there. Maybe a little bit here. My biggest concern is going to just be that I can sense like the dimension of like each piece of the ribbon, that they're kind of like stacked on top of each other. I really want that. So I'm going to just try to create that sense of like form. It's still relatively like flat. It's not super flat, but it does, lay pretty flat. So that'll be a challenge. We'll see if we can make it work. Sometimes it's also like, I feel like context. So I have to see it all together and I'm like, okay, it's starting to make some sense now. But sometimes it won't make sense if you just have like part of it. So you kind of have to trust the process and hope that you get there. Yeah. You see a little bit of light there. Okay, that's the darkest. There is some light here, so I'm going to bring some light in. And this isn't my usual best system practice, but since I didn't put it in, the beautiful thing about these markers is I can just lay it right on top. Excellent. There we go. I'm gonna come back over here. A little darker. Skip that guy because that one looks exactly the same. This a little bit more dimension. Right there. I could do this side too while I'm here, maybe. I'm gonna come back to this one. Right there. Perhaps a little bit of, ooh, that looks like, oh, like my marker's about to burst. Yesterday I did have that kind of happen. Ooh, we're getting very close to the end, guys. I'm gonna start to wrap up, but yesterday, I don't know how, but like somehow one of the markers just like a huge blob of the ink just landed here on my desk, and it was all over my arm and stuff. And I don't know what I did to make that happen, but I feel like it's gonna happen again to this one. This is very juicy. Like I can feel like it's gonna leak. Gotta be gentle. I'm like a bull in a china cabinet, so I don't even know what gentle is. Like, what is that? I have no concept. Could not be gentle, even if I wanted to be. I don't think. Maybe I could. I don't know. All right. It looks like we're going to end right about here. So we're not going to get to finish everything, of course. I was kind of thinking like, oh, that would be cool if I could finish it, but realistically, no. So I'm going to stop right here. I'm going to take a picture of my markers in this order so I don't forget which is the dark, which is the light, which is the medium. I have to see that spectrum. Now I am feeling like a little bit bored by this color scheme. It's just kind of, it's too one note. So I feel like I need some blue in there or something. I'm just going to keep going. But if I could do this again, I would probably have incorporated something other than that. The idea was going to be the orange, and then I never did anything with the orange. So I do feel like it's too late to put it in there. But I don't know. Maybe we'll see what we can do. So we're going to leave it about here right now. So then this is, and I've been kind of marking the calendar for July 1st. I get to switch my stamp. So I'm going to put a stamp here just so we know that I worked on it these days. So we started on yesterday, and then we'll finish it tomorrow. Tomorrow at our live stream, we will finish this. I feel like we're going to finish it, and then we're going to have extra time. So I don't know. We're going to do something else with it, but we will do all the rest that we need here. And then also maybe I can bring in another color. Maybe we could just see what happens. What happens if we try to add another color in this late in the game? Is it possible? It might be, and it might make it better. I think that's something we should do at some point. How do we change what we have in a way that is brave, because it takes a lot to, draw over our stuff once we've already done it and we're satisfied with it. And how can we change things or, adjust them after the fact? So anyway, we'll talk about that more later. Thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate you guys keeping me company while I'm drawing and helping me to stay, accountable. Stay accountable for drawing. So I will be back tomorrow at 2 p.m. And I will post a link on Patreon. I'll see you guys later. Bye.